Do you ever feel like you're running on empty, but it has nothing to do with being physically tired? It's a feeling deep in your mind, a sense of being completely drained, where even simple decisions feel like climbing a mountain. You might wake up after a full 8 hours of sleep, yet you still feel exhausted before your day has even begun. 1. This isn't just tiredness, it's mental exhaustion, a state of burnout that happens when your brain has been overworked for too long. 1. It's a silent epidemic in our fast-paced world, and it can lead to serious consequences for your physical and mental health if you ignore it. 2. Today, I'm going to explain the 7 critical warning signs that show you are mentally exhausted, what is happening inside your brain and body, and most importantly, the practical, science-backed steps you can take to start recharging your mental battery today. Introduction. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Orlena, and my goal here is to give you clear, evidence-based health information that empowers you to live a healthier, more vibrant life. We cut through the noise to focus on what truly matters for your well-being. If that's what you're looking for, please take a moment to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our weekly videos. Today, we are tackling a topic that is more relevant than ever: mental exhaustion. This is different from the physical fatigue you feel after a workout. 1. Mental exhaustion is a psychobiological state caused by prolonged periods of demanding cognitive activity. 3. Think of your brain like a smartphone battery. Every task, every decision, every worry, and every bit of stress drains that battery. Without proper recharging, you eventually hit zero. The problem is, many people don't recognize the signs until they are completely depleted, a state we often call burnout. 4. Burnout isn't just a buzzword, it's a serious condition characterized by emotional, physical, and mental fatigue that can impact your work, your relationships, and your overall health. 4. So let's get into the first and often most overlooked sign of mental exhaustion. Sign number 1. Persistent fatigue and sleep issues. The first and most fundamental sign is a deep, persistent fatigue that sleep doesn't seem to fix. You might be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but you wake up feeling just as drained as when you went to bed. 5. This is a classic symptom of mental exhaustion and a key difference from simple physical tiredness. 1. Here's what's happening from a medical standpoint. When you are under chronic mental stress, your body is in a constant state of fight or flight. This leads to elevated levels of the stress hormone, cortisol. 6. Persistently high cortisol can disrupt your natural sleep-wake cycle, or circadian rhythm. 6. It can lead to difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or experiencing restorative, deep sleep. So, even if you are in bed for enough hours, the quality of your sleep is poor. Your brain isn't getting the chance to perform its nightly maintenance, clearing out toxins, consolidating memories, and truly resting. This creates a vicious cycle. Poor sleep worsens mental fatigue, and mental fatigue disrupts sleep. 7. If you feel tired all the time, no matter how much you rest, it's a major red flag. 5. Sign number 2, increased irritability and emotional sensitivity. The second sign is a noticeable change in your emotional state. You might find yourself becoming easily irritated, frustrated, or angry over small things that wouldn't have bothered you before. 6. A misplaced set of keys or a slow driver can trigger a disproportionate emotional response. This isn't because you've suddenly become an angry person. It's because your brain's ability to regulate emotions is compromised. Think of the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain right behind your forehead. This is your brain's CEO, responsible for executive functions like emotional regulation, impulse control, and rational thinking. When you are mentally exhausted, the prefrontal cortex has less energy to function effectively. 8. At the same time, the amygdala, your brain's emotional alarm system, becomes overactive. It perceives threats everywhere, even in minor inconveniences. So, with a weakened CEO and a hyperactive alarm system, you're left with a short fuse and a feeling of being emotionally raw. 9. If you feel like your emotions are on a hair trigger, it's a clear sign your mental reserves are depleted. 10. Sign number 3. Brain fog and difficulty concentrating. Sign number 3 is the experience of brain fog. This is a term we use to describe a collection of cognitive symptoms, including difficulty concentrating, memory problems, and a general feeling of mental slowness. 1. 11. You might find yourself reading the same paragraph over and over, forgetting why you walked into a room, or struggling to make simple decisions. 2. This happens because prolonged cognitive effort literally fatigues your brain's neural circuits. 8. The demanding tasks that lead to mental exhaustion, like intense work projects, financial stress, or caregiving, require a lot of energy from your brain's executive functions. 6. When these systems are overworked, their efficiency drops. 8. Your ability to filter out distractions, hold information in your working memory, and think clearly is significantly reduced. 8. It's not a character flaw or a sign of declining intelligence. It's a direct physiological consequence of your brain being overworked and under-rested. 12. Making even simple decisions like what to have for dinner can feel overwhelming because your brain lacks the cognitive resources to process the options. 12. Sign number 4. Apathy and lack of motivation. The fourth sign is a growing sense of apathy, detachment, and a profound lack of motivation. 6. You might lose interest in hobbies and activities you once enjoyed. 5. Work tasks that used to be engaging now feel like a chore, and you may find yourself feeling cynical or pessimistic about things in general. 5. 6. This feeling of just going through the motions is a hallmark of burnout. 10. This isn't just laziness. From a neurological perspective, this is linked to the brain's reward system, which is driven by the neurotransmitter dopamine. Chronic stress and mental exhaustion can deplete dopamine levels or make your brain's receptors less sensitive to it. 13. Dopamine is what gives you that feeling of pleasure, satisfaction, and motivation to pursue goals. When this system is dysregulated, nothing feels rewarding anymore. The effort required to do something outweighs any anticipated pleasure, so you simply stop trying. 3. This can be one of the most distressing symptoms, as you may feel disconnected from your own life and the people in it, leading to social withdrawal. 5. Sign number 5. Physical symptoms with no clear cause. Mental exhaustion doesn't just stay in your mind, it manifests physically. The fifth sign is the appearance of physical symptoms like chronic headaches, muscle tension, stomach problems, and a weakened immune system. 6. 7. You might find yourself getting sick more often or struggling with unexplained aches and pains. 6. This is due to the powerful mind-body connection. The chronic stress that causes mental exhaustion keeps your body flooded with cortisol and adrenaline. 6. These hormones are helpful in short bursts, but when they are constantly elevated, they wreak havoc on your body. They can increase inflammation, suppress your immune system, and disrupt your digestive system. 2. For example, that persistent tension headache could be caused by unconsciously clenching your jaw and neck muscles due to stress. Those stomach issues might be a result of stress altering your gut motility and microbiome. Your body is essentially screaming for a break, and these physical symptoms are its way of sending up a flare. If you're experiencing new physical ailments without a clear medical cause, it's crucial to consider mental exhaustion as a potential route. 14. Sign number 6. Decreased performance and increased mistakes. The sixth sign is a noticeable decline in your performance and an increase in careless mistakes. At work, you might miss deadlines, struggle with tasks that were once easy, or find your productivity has plummeted. In your personal life, this could look like forgetting appointments, making errors in your finances, or having minor accidents. This is a direct result of the brain fog and difficulty concentrating we talked about earlier. 15. When your executive functions are fatigued, your ability to pay attention to detail, plan, and execute tasks accurately is severely impaired. 8. You're not being lazy or incompetent. Your brain simply doesn't have the cognitive resources to perform at its usual level. 12. This can be particularly dangerous in professions that require high levels of concentration, such as for doctors, pilots, or people operating heavy machinery, where a simple mistake can have serious consequences. 8. But even in daily life, like while driving, reduced alertness from mental exhaustion can be hazardous. If you notice your performance slipping and mistakes creeping in, it's a sign that you need to stop and recharge. Sign number 7, social withdrawal and isolation. The final sign is a tendency to withdraw from social interactions and isolate yourself. 5. When you are mentally exhausted, socializing can feel like an enormous effort. 5. The energy required to engage in conversation, listen actively, and process social cues is simply not there. You might start avoiding calls from friends, canceling plans, and preferring to be alone. This withdrawal is often a self-preservation mechanism. Your brain is trying to conserve its limited energy by avoiding stimulating environments. However, this coping strategy can backfire. Meaningful social connection is one of the most powerful buffers against stress. 16. Isolating yourself can worsen feelings of loneliness and depression, further fueling the cycle of mental exhaustion. 9. It can also lead to feelings of being detached or disconnected from your loved ones, which is a symptom of depersonalization often seen in burnout. 17. You might feel like you're watching your life from the outside rather than participating in it. If you find yourself pulling away from the people you care about, it's a critical sign that you need support. How to recover and prevent mental exhaustion. Recognizing these 7 signs is the first, most crucial step. The next is taking action. The good news is that mental exhaustion is reversible, but it requires a conscious and intentional effort to recharge your brain. Here are some evidence-based strategies you can start implementing today. First, you must prioritize rest, and I don't just mean sleep. You need to schedule micro breaks throughout your day. Step away from your screen, stretch, look out a window, or do a few minutes of deep breathing. This helps to lower cortisol and gives your prefrontal cortex a chance to recover. 1. Also, make sure you are taking your vacation time and occasional mental health days to truly disconnect from work and other stressors. 6. Second, focus on your physical health as it is directly linked to your mental resilience. Aim for regular physical activity, which has been shown to reduce stress and improve mood. 6. You don't have to run a marathon. A brisk 30-minute walk each day is incredibly beneficial. Also, nourish your brain with a balanced diet rich in whole foods and stay hydrated. Poor nutrition can exacerbate feelings of fatigue. 16. Third, practice mindfulness and stress management techniques. Mindfulness meditation has been proven to help calm the mind, improve focus, and build emotional resilience. 18. 19. Even just 10 minutes a day can make a difference. Other techniques like journaling, deep breathing exercises, or spending time in nature can also be incredibly effective at reducing the chronic stress that fuels exhaustion. 1/4. Set firm boundaries. This is often the hardest step, but the most important. Learn to say no to extra commitments that will drain your energy. 19. Protect your time outside of work to ensure you have a healthy work-life balance. 16. This might mean turning off email notifications after a certain hour or delegating tasks that you don't need to do yourself. 20. Finally, and most importantly, reconnect with supportive people and seek professional help if needed. 1. Talk to your friends, family, or a trusted colleague about how you are feeling. 20. And if the feelings of exhaustion, anxiety, or hopelessness are persistent, please reach out to a therapist or a doctor. 16. They can help you identify the root causes of your exhaustion and develop a personalized plan for recovery. 21. Final thoughts and call to action. Mental exhaustion is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you have been strong for too long. It is your body's and brain's way of telling you that you need to rest and recharge. Ignoring these signs can lead to severe burnout, depression, anxiety, and a host of physical health problems. 2. But by recognizing them early and taking proactive steps, you can restore your mental energy and build a more resilient, balanced life. I hope this explanation of the 7 signs of mental exhaustion has been helpful. If you recognized yourself in any of these descriptions, please don't ignore it. Start with one small change today. Take a 10-minute walk, practice a short meditation, or reach out to a friend. Your future self will thank you. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone you think might be struggling. You never know who might need to hear this message. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these signs resonates with you the most? Sharing your experience can help others feel less alone. Thank you for investing this time in your health. I'm Dr. Orlena, and I'll see you in the next video.